Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Esther here. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing great and fine during this pandemic. And today we're going to be starting with chapter number 6, Lines and Angles. Today we'll be seeing the intro to exercise 6.1, and it is a very interesting intro, I would say. And we are going to be also covering some new concepts which are also interesting as well as easy in this session. Okay, so let's start. Yes. So firstly, let's know some basic need to know stuff. You all have learned this in the previous year, previous classes also. You have learned, all these things, all these basic stuff. But anyways, as a sort of recap, I would like to brush up all these concepts as these are carried forward in this chapter basically. So if your basics, your foundation is clear, then you can understand the bigger concepts as well. Okay, so firstly we shall learn what is a point. A point, what is a point? Do you all know the definition of a point? I know, in an imaginary way, or maybe in your mind mentally, okay, what is a point, but do you actually know what is the definition? Let me tell you, it is a location of an object, basically location of an object. And how does a point look? Just a dot. This is point A, let's say. This shows us the position of an object. Let's say I'm standing here. So this point where I'm standing is basically showing my location, and here the object is me. So therefore, this is how we define a point. We understood what is a point now. Another thing is, point is dimensionless. Dimensionless means there is no dimension for a point. Yeah, cool. So now we understood what is a point. Let's understand next what is a line segment. So what is a line segment? Before that, let's see what is a line. Fine. So a line, let me draw a line for you. Pardon me, it is not very straight. It's little wavy sort of, but just cooperate, okay? So line is basically one that extends on both sides endlessly. That means it has no end point. Yeah, it has no end point. This side it extends endlessly. It can be extended to how much ever. Yeah, so line keeps extending on both sides endlessly. Let's say I need to represent, I need to name this as A, point B, and the line can extend from point A endlessly, from point B also endlessly. I will write this as such, meaning if I have to, like, instead of writing a line AB, I can write AB and put this symbol on top. So this symbol, that arrow mark on both sides, basically shows us that what does it show us? It shows us that it is a line. Okay, so you need to remember these symbols as well, very important. Yeah, sometimes they won't say a line, sometimes they could give you this symbol and they could ask you, so that time you need to know what it is. Okay, so now we understood what is a line. Let's see what's a line segment. Okay, so a line segment has two endpoints. For example, if I take this line segment AB, this has an endpoint. This does not extend on both sides. If B is its endpoint, A is also its endpoint. That means it is stopping there. It is not extending anymore. So this is a line segment, and we express a line segment as such. We put AB. Suppose this line is AB, then we'll put this line on the top like this. This is called as line segment symbol. Okay, so we understood a line extends on both sides endlessly. Line segment has just two endpoints. Okay, that is AB. So now you understood what is a line segment. Let's move on to what is a ray. I'm sure all of you have learned, or maybe you have studied before, what is a ray. You know what is a ray. It looks like this. Yeah, it looks something like this. This is a ray. So how do we basically define a ray? See, a ray is something which has a starting, it has a ending point, sorry, it has a ending point, on one side, and extends endlessly on the other side. Meaning, suppose I have a ray here. This is its endpoint. This point A is its endpoint. But it extends on this side. Let's say this is point B. From point B, it can extend endlessly to whatever, to whichever length it wants to go to. So it can extend endlessly on the other side. So what is a ray? A ray is something which has an ending point on one side and extends endlessly on the other side. That is called as a ray. Fine. So cool. So we understood what is point, line segment, line, ray, all of that, right? So now let's understand what is an angle. What is an angle? How is an angle formed basically? Do we know how an angle is formed? If I just draw an angle like this, let's say this is point A, O, and B. This is how an angle looks, right? So how is this angle formed? This angle is formed by two rays that originate from the same point. Okay, so these two rays are non-common, meaning they're not common to each other. They're non-common arms, you can say. So we define an angle as two rays originate from the same endpoint. Okay, two rays originate from the same endpoint. So this ray OA. Okay, by the way, how do we write a ray if we have to represent it like this? Like how we wrote line can be written like this, and line segment can be written like this. How do we write a ray? As we write it as, suppose we have AB, ray AB, we will put this arrow mark. Okay, so if you get such a symbol in exam, that means that okay, it's ray AB. Similarly, here we have ray OA and OB. Okay, so ray OA and OB originate from the same endpoint O. This is how an angle is defined. Fine. Now, what are the arms of the angle? In this case, arms of the angle. So in this case, what are the arms? What are the arms of the angle? Arms of the angles. Here in this case, it will be OA, ray OA, and OB, and it has a common vertex, right? These two rays have a common vertex. So here the vertex is point O. You can just say it is O. Here the vertex is O. Clear? So you understood what is an angle. Two rays originate from the same endpoint, and the arms of the angles in this case are OA and OB, plus the vertex is point O. Okay, so I hope it was clear. Now let us understand types of angles. All of you have learned this before. I know all of you know this, but just a sort of recap. Okay, take it as a recap, as a learning, so that you will remember your concepts. Okay, so what is acute angle? Angle that lies between 0 and 90 degrees. 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Suppose I have a line here, and this is perpendicular, meaning this is 90 degrees. Then any angle lying between 0 degrees, if you take a protractor and see between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, that angle is called as acute angle. Obtuse angle is any angle lying between like 90 degrees and 180 degrees, meaning it should be lesser than 180 degrees but greater than 90 degrees. So any angle lying between 180 and 90 is called as obtuse angle. Right angle is exactly 90 degrees. So this angle, this 90 degrees, is called as right angle. What is a straight angle? This whole complete angle, this whole thing is called as 180 degrees. That is nothing but your straight angle. Fine. What is a reflex angle? Any angle lying between 180 degrees to 360 degrees. This whole thing is 360 degrees, right? So anything lying between 180 degrees and 360 degrees is called as reflex angle. Okay, cool. So now you understood what is a reflex angle. Let's move on to what is a complementary angle. When two angles add up to 90 degrees, suppose I have 45 degrees plus 45 degrees. If I add it, I'll get 90 degrees. So these two are said to be complementary angles. Why? Because these two angles add up to 90 degrees. Okay. Supplementary angle is when two angles add up to 180 degrees. Now in this case it is 180 degrees. Now for example 90 degrees plus 90 degrees give us 180 degrees. That means what? This is a supplementary angle. Okay, supplementary angles I would say. Yeah. So what is a complete angle? What is a complete angle? It means 360 degrees is called as a complete angle. So these are the different types of angles which you have learned. Basic type of angles which you have learned previously. Now let us understand what is an adjacent angle and what are collinear and non-collinear points. Next we'll learn that. So now what are adjacent angles? Let's see that. Okay, so adjacent angles, here we have a figure here. So here angle ABD, that is this angle. When I'm talking about angles, I request all of you to look at the figure. That's when you can understand what I'm saying, or else you'll be completely lost in the middle and you'll be like, what were you saying? So you don't want to be lost, right? So just look at the diagram, look at the figure, whatever, when I'm talking about the angles. Angle ABD and angle DBC, this angle. These two angles are adjacent angles. Why? Because they have a common vertex. Let me use another ink. Look here, they have a common vertex. They have a common vertex B, that is that common point basically. They have the common point B. They have a common arm. Which is that common arm? Both these angles have a common arm, BD, this arm, right? Yeah. And they have non-common arms as well, meaning these two arms, BA and BC, or AB and CB, right? These two have these are the non-common arms of angle ABD and angle DBC. So this is nothing but adjacent angles. Angles which have a common vertex, common arm, and non-common arms is called as a adjacent angle. Okay. Now I hope adjacent angles are clear. Yeah. So collinear angles, sorry, not angles, collinear and non-collinear points. Okay, it's points. So what are collinear and non-collinear points? If I have a line, suppose, and here I have some points here. Okay, point A, B, C, and D. Here I have collinear points. So how can I say that these are collinear points? Three or more points on the same line are called as collinear points basically. What are non-collinear points? Of course, points which are not there on the same line, right? Yeah, there are different points here. So suppose I have a point here on one line, Then on another line here, I have another point. Can I say these two are collinear points? Absolutely not, because they're not on the same line, correct? So these two are not collinear points. So basically non-collinear points are those which are not on the same line. Not on the same line. Okay, so I hope collinear and non-collinear points as well as adjacent angle was understandable, and you understood the concept. Yeah, so now let's move on to what is a linear pair of angles, or what are linear pairs of angles. Let us check that out. Okay, so let me draw a line here. Let's say this is line AC, and I have a ray here which is DB. Okay, and I have two angles here. We call these two angles as linear pair of angles. How can you say that? We can say that two angles are linear pair of angles when the non-common arms will be opposite to each other. And always remember, linear pair of angles always sum up to 180 degrees. Okay, sum up to 180 degrees always. Okay, always they sum up to 180 degrees. That means this whole sum will give you 180 degrees. So that means angle ABD plus angle BDC is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, another identification by which you can tell that linear pair of the given angles are linear pair of angles is the non-common arms, meaning in this case, which are the non-common arms? We have a common arm here, which is DB, right? To angle ABD and angle BDC, DB is common, right? This is a common arm, right? DB is a common arm. But which are the non-common arms? AB and BC, right? So non-common arms will be opposite to each other. AB is opposite to BC, right? So yeah, so the non-common arms will be opposite to each other. This is how we can say that given a pair of angles, that is in this figure, the given pairs of angles are linear pairs of angles. Okay, so I hope that was clear to you. Okay, cool. So now nextly, let's move on. We have vertically opposite angles. Wow, so I think this is a completely brand new concept to you, right? I don't think you've learned it before. Okay, so we will see what are vertically opposite angles. Let's say I have two lines, AB and CD, intersecting at point O. Okay, AB and CD intersect at point O. These two angles are vertically opposite angles. They're opposite each other. They're vertically opposite angles. So we can say angle AOD is equal to angle COB. Always remember, vertically opposite angles are equal. These are always equal. Fine. So AOD is equal to angle COB. Okay, vertically opposite angles are always equal to each other. Fine. So here in this case, angle AOD is equal to angle COD, and these two angles, angle AOC is equal to angle DOB. Again, because vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. I hope it is clear, right? Yeah, so these two angles AOD and COB are equal to each other. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. AOC is equal to angle DOB. Why? Because these two are also vertically opposite angles. Clear? Okay. Now let's learn what are intersecting and non-intersecting lines. So intersecting lines means what? Lines that intersect at a particular point, correct? Absolutely. Suppose I take our previous example, that is these two lines. Okay. If I take these two lines, A, B, C, D, These two are intersecting lines. Why? Because they're having a point where both the lines are intersecting, right? So these two are called as intersecting lines. What are non-intersecting lines? Of course, lines which do not intersect each other at a particular point, correct? Such as parallel lines. Parallel lines are called as non-intersecting lines. These are parallel lines. I'm so sorry. Yeah, parallel lines. Okay, so these are called as parallel lines, which are nothing but non-intersecting lines. Non-intersecting lines. Parallel lines can also be written as such, parallel lines. We use this symbol instead of parallel. I hope you're aware of that. Okay, so now you've learned what are intersecting and non-intersecting lines. I think all of these are easy, right? Whatever we studied so far. Yeah, cool. Now we will learn a very, very new concept which you've never ever heard before. What is an axiom? Maybe you've heard of it before. I'm not sure, but majority of us might not even know what is an axiom, right? So let's check on it. What is that axiom? Yeah, all excited? Cool, cool. So what is an axiom? If you have to go by definition wise, we say that an axiom is a true statement or universal truth. Universal truth. Meaning this axiom, any statement, if we say that it is an axiom, we cannot say that it is false. We cannot prove it is false. Why? Because it is a true statement, right? And universally, this remains as a truth forever. Okay. So that is the definition of an axiom. Fine. So we understood what is an axiom. Now, in this chapter, we will be learning various axioms which are very, very useful when you are solving your word problems. I know this is all completely theory session. When we go to word problems, whatever I've taught you so far or whatever we learn in this session will come to usefulness. Yeah, it'll become handy to you. Okay, cool. So let's start then with axiom number 1 of this chapter. What does axiom number 1 say? If a ray stands on a line, okay, let me use a laser pointer. If a ray, we have a ray here that stands on a line, and then the sum of two adjacent angles so formed is 180 degrees. Let's understand this line or this statement through an example, or we'll just write it down in figurative language. Now look here, if a ray stands on a line, let's say we have a line AB and a ray stands here, let's say OC. Okay, we have a ray that stands on a line. Then the sum of the two adjacent angles, that means what? These two are adjacent angles, correct? Non-common arms on either side. So these two are adjacent angles, correct? Common vertex, common arm, non-common arms are here on either sides, correct? So these two are adjacent angles. That means if this ray OC stands on line AB, then the sum of these two adjacent angles, will give us 180 degrees. Suppose this is angle 1 and this is angle 2, then angle 1 plus angle 2 is giving us 180 degrees. How can we say that? By this axiom number 1. Okay, clear? So this is also a linear pair as well. Okay, this is definitely a linear pair as well. Now we have understood what is axiom number 1. Let's move to axiom number 2. Axiom number 2, what does it state? If the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees, then the non-common arms of the angles form a line. Suppose I have, okay, two adjacent angles. These two adjacent angles I have. Then if these two adjacent angles, angle 1 plus angle 2, give me 180 degrees. If it is so, then these two non-common arms, let's say we have a line AB here and AO and OB are the non-common arms. Then the non-common arms of the angles will definitely form a line. So if there are some two adjacent angles that give us 180 degrees when added, then these two non-common arms of the angles will form a line. Okay, that is axiom number 2. So when we add axiom number 1 and 2, that means when we club it together, we call it as a linear pair axiom. Why is that? Because these two axioms are talking about the, like facts of a linear pair, right? Both of these are talking about basically what is a linear pair. So we call it as a linear pair axiom. Clear? So what is axiom number 1 and axiom number 2? By the way, we do not have only axiom 1 and 2 here. I mean, we'll further be learning more axioms, and after this, we'll be learning theorems as well. So I'm just teaching you 2 axioms and 1 theorem in this session, which is required for exercise 6.1. After we finish exercise 6.1 and 6.2, we'll be learning much more axioms and theorem as well. Okay, cool. Okay. So let's start then with theorem 6.1. I'm sure all of you have learned many theorems from various chapters. Likewise, we have a theorem for this chapter as well. Let's see what is that theorem. Is it so difficult? Let's check it out. Theorem 6.1. Theorem 6.1. Actually, it's not 6.1. In the exam, they won't ask you define theorem 6.1. Okay, this number is just for your reference sake, but you don't need to learn like what is theorem 6.1. You shouldn't learn like that. You should know what are the different types of theorems now. And the numberings can change, but the theorem, the fact, the theorem, the axiom remains the same here also in this case. You don't need to learn with the number. You never need to learn with the number. What are the axioms? What are the theorems in this chapter? That's all you need to know. Define theorem 6.1, axiom 6.1. They won't ask you such things. Okay, they would probably give if two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Prove it. Prove that it is equal. They won't say theorem 6.1 says so and so. Prove it like this. They won't ask you such things. They'll ask you if two lines intersect each other. They give you the statement and they'll ask you to prove it. Okay, so accordingly you need to prove. Now this year, that is for the year 2021, okay, I mean the CBSE board has announced that you don't need to learn the proof. Basically, you don't need to learn the proof of the theorems and all of that. Okay, you don't need to learn the proof, but I don't know, maybe next year or maybe in this year itself they could change this fact, or they could say that you have to learn it. I don't know, but currently if you are watching this in this year 2021 to 2022, right now the boards have announced that you do not need to learn the proof. So only the statement you should know. But listen to me, but if you know the statement, you should know the statement. How it can be proved, maybe you don't need to know, but you need to understand the statement. Okay, because in exam they can ask you, like suppose they'll give you a word problem. That time you need to know that, okay, when two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles so formed are equal. You need to know and you need to understand it. That's why we will be training you the proofs. But as far as now, as far as 2021 to 2022 batch of grade 9 is concerned, we do not need to learn the proof, but you need to learn accordingly, with respect to the latest CBSE announcements, like whatever the CBSE board says, you need to learn respectively according to that. So make sure to check that out with your class teacher, school, or the CBSE websites, okay, before you proceed to make a decision whether to learn it or not. Okay, so I'll give you the final decision into your hands, so you can ask your teachers for that. Fine. With this last concept of theorem 6.1, we'll be closing this session. Next session, we'll start with 6.1. Okay, let's not drag it for too long. Okay, so theorem 6.1, what does theorem 6.1 tell us? If two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Suppose I have two lines, AB and CD, intersecting at point O. If two lines intersect each other, lines AB and CD intersect each other, that means these two angles are vertically opposite angles, which means they are equal to each other, as well as these two angles are vertically opposite angles, that means they are equal. So let's see how to prove it as well. AB and CD intersect at point, right? Let AB and CD intersect at O. Therefore, we have two pairs of vertically opposite angles that are formed. Which are they? Angle AOC, this is the first pair, angle AOC and angle BOD. Second pair is angle AOD and angle BOC. That means angle AOC, this angle BOD, this angle, these two are one pair. Angle AOD, that means this one, and angle BOC, this one. These two are vertically opposite angles. That means these two are the next pair. Fine. So now coming back, we need to prove. So to prove, what do we need to prove? Angle AOC is equal to angle BOD and angle AOD is equal to angle BOC. Okay, so you need to prove this. So proof. We know that ray OA stands on line CD. Ray OA stands on line CD. I don't want to make the figure too dirty, so try to understand, okay, by just looking at it. Just give me a second. I just want to make it a bit neat. Yes. Okay. So OA stands on line CD. Correct? Look at the figure when I'm talking about such things. OA stands on line CD, right? Therefore, can I say that angle AOC plus angle AOD is equal to 180 degrees? That means angle AOC, this angle, plus angle AOD, that means this angle. Can I say that when I add it together, it'll give me 180 degrees? Yes, I can say that by linear pair axiom. Linear pair axiom. Let me consider this to be equation number 1. Okay. Also, we know that similarly, angle AOD, that means this angle, and angle BOD, that means this angle. When I add it together, plus AOD plus angle BOD is equal to 180 degrees. When I add it together, I should get 180 degrees, right? Again, because of the same reason. So let me consider this to be equation 2 as well. Now, since our RHS, that means this RHS of both the equations are equal, since RHS of equation 1 and 2 are equal, equating the LHS of equation 1 and 2, we have, what do we have? Angle AOC plus angle AOD from equation number 1, yeah, is equal to angle AOD plus angle BOD, correct? Yeah, BOD, correct? So I'm equating the LHS of both these equations. So what do I get after this? I can cancel these two because AOD and AOD is present on both sides. I can cancel this. Therefore, angle AOC is equal to angle BOD. Therefore, angle AOC, that means this one, AOC is equal to angle BOD. We have proved it, correct? We have proved it that it is equal. This is what they asked to prove right here, to prove angle AOC is equal to angle BOD. Yeah. So now we have proved that it is equal. Now, similarly, you can write like this and just leave it. Similarly, angle AOD is equal to angle BOC. So thus proved. Okay, you can just write similarly angle AOD is equal to angle BOC. So you can simply write this and leave it. That's all. Okay. So easy. Did you understand the proof? Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I'll not explain the angle AOD is equal to angle BOC because it's a similar thing only we are doing. And we will get the same answer that angle AOD is equal to COB, just that the letterings and the angle names will change. Okay, that's it. Fine. So this is your theorem 6.1. This is the proof to it. This is the proof that we have proved theorem 6.1. So I hope it was clear to you. That's it for this session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And in the next video, we'll be starting with exercise 6.1. Very interesting exercise it is. I request you all to concentrate when we are doing that exercise, because we are going to have to like really concentrate and try to understand the sums and put our brains to like brains to some use when you're doing that. So each question is like each type in this chapter, so make sure to solve it all nice and well. Okay, so thank you so much. Till the next video comes up, take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now.